Hey everybody, it is November, it's time for a new game. Speed bump time.
Welcome to Speed Bump.
We are trying to do something new this month. We're going to have a race to determine the winner instead of what we've been doing was whoever had the world record at the end. Eric's, by the way, had the world record for racing Gears Advance, I believe, in the 25-minute. That was the run we saw.
Yeah, and it was a really good run.
Yep. So we're going to have a race here in 4 weeks, and that's what the clock on the website's going to reflect. It's going to be a countdown to when that race happens, and whoever wins that race will be the one that gets the prize this time. And I'll give prizes to the top 3 again, like I usually do. Anyway, we got a game to announce. You ready?
I am ready.
Monster Maulers, arcade game time. I just grabbed this from a site that reviewed it because it's not the kind of game that has box art that I can just read, you know, PR for, right? So this is all the description of what this is. It's a beat 'em up of sorts. It's an arcade. Some people from my community have been doing it, competing in it, have a world record in it. So it looked like a good fit. Looked like a really fun one. We're gonna show it off for you here in a bit. Boss battle, beat 'em up. It's got a lot of neat stuff to it, and like most arcade games, it's just this extremely well drawn thing. They're all really well animated, typically, and then they get ported to the SNES. Usually is how it went, and you're less impressed with them, but they're still good. I always think of Sunset Riders.
I've been playing a little bit of it because I was setting up for streaming this, and we've got to show off the attract mode because I did not realize that the 2-player mode is not head-to-head. It's joining forces to fight these boss battles. This is a really unique game. I'm really surprised when Smite suggested this game for this month. I was kind of on the fence about a beat 'em up, or sorry, a fighting game. But if you're like me and kind of thinking fighting game, this game's really different.
I'm used to arcade games having support for 4 players, and this kind of like I would expect going in that it would have co-op, and co-op is always a lot of fun. They're big selling points for these quarter muncher games. This one's not really that though. This one's pretty easy, I feel like, in terms of just winning, not in terms of winning a race, but in terms of just being able to get to the ending of it. I don't feel like it's that hard. And
yeah, I was pretty surprised. I threw in like 5 credits worth, and I got to the final Wily stages pretty quickly.
And Ivy there has the world record as far as I know. Really good runner. Has won my events many times, usually the Mystery Triathlons, where I often see them compete, so I knew this would be a good contender. And we have that run, but Octopus is going to play it for us. Let me get that ready.
Yeah, I wanted to show off this attract mode a little bit because it's very, very unique.
One second.
No problem.
It's wanting to play a feed that it shouldn't be playing. All right. Well, while I get that set up, do you have any information you want to give us about this game?
Yeah, I'm going to be playing as what's the name? Kotetsu is the character. There's 3 characters, and they all play relatively similarly. So it doesn't strike me as there being an obvious best choice. They just each have a few small special moves that should I don't know, help round it out based on how you want to play. I just plugged this in and started setting it up for Speed Bump, but I've been playing it for the past 20-30 minutes and having a great time. So I think people who give this game a shot, who don't sort of just write it off as being a fighting game or a beat 'em up or whatever different thing you could see it as, I think you'll be really impressed by it.
I believe I'm all set.
All right. Yeah, the attract mode's going through some of the fights, and it's really interesting because they're showing off the cooperative play, which obviously I'm just going to be just me, but I think this game's really, really interesting looking. Let me arrange a few windows really quickly. And I should be good to go. So I'm playing this on MAME. It was really easy to set up. I just downloaded MAME UI and threw the zip file associated with this game into the right folder, and it ran effortlessly. So it was literally no trouble at all. I'm gonna put in a ton of quarters.
Okay, makes sense. I can see that. Bro, good. While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get the website reflecting these changes. So we are going to be doing this game for the same length of time. The only difference really in terms of time is the last week after the race is going to just be time to cool down, because obviously after the race is held, we won't... I mean, I guess what I could do is... People were worried... there was something I hadn't even considered, which is bizarre that I hadn't considered it, but some people won't be able to make the race on Sunday. And if there are enough people, like at least 2... I could watch a second race off screen during that week period, and so I think that's the solution. I wouldn't mind doing that if we have people who just can't make it Sunday night, like right now, this week. I wouldn't mind having another off screen race, and I'll moderate it, and the people who couldn't make it can just go. So that's an option if you want to compete and can't do it on that Sunday. I'm all set if you want to start though.
Yeah, if Sundays are just a bad day, we can try to work out a solution so that other people can participate in the quote-unquote race.
Who's your character?
Kotetsu?
So there are special moves for this, but you made it sound like you already knew them.
Yeah, I'm trying. So, every character has a few abilities in common. Like you can jump onto an enemy's head and sort of pummel them. There's some grabs that are relatively straightforward to pull off, and then everyone has sort of some special abilities as well to go with it.
Gonna go ahead and make a post, update some stuff. You can always check speedbump.run for the current information, and after the show I always have it updated. I'll do it right now, but usually it just takes me a couple minutes. We got a lot going on that website, actually. A lot of good information up there. There was some discussion about starting a Wikipedia of some sort for the tools and such, and I would host that as well if I could.
I assure you that this will not be the most unwieldy thing that I will suplex in this playthrough.
Suplex a train. Suplex everything.
Suplex the world.
So the race will be on the 29th, by the way. 29th of November. The official race.
I think I was doubling the audio. That was my fault. I was listening to the side stream. This guy gave me a lot of trouble last time. This guy took me a quarter or two, I'll tell you that much. None of the movesets are particularly hard to pull off. Some like they're very few of them are like complicated inputs to pull off the moves. I'm not good at it, but that's more of a criticism of me than a criticism of the game.
We do have a record to check, and it looked like a pretty good run. It was full of greens, so I know it can be, you know, I'm not sure that it can be enhanced, but it looked like it could be. We're not going for the world record, though, again, and this definitely feels like a racing kind of game, because the kind of stuff that you're getting hit by might happen to anybody. You never know. Sometimes the AI just don't cooperate, and this game is more complicated than like Double Dragons or something where there's a plane that you can use to take advantage of. Game like this, I could see anything happening. I thought it would be a good fit. And just like always, we'll help you get set up if you need help setting this one up. It's got a really good presentation across the board. Yeah, I love the everything, the animations and the music and the sound design. It's all good. It's all good stuff. How you doing against the green?
This guy's my nemesis, man. He's way better at this game than I am. He's been practicing.
Fungus.
This game switches between fighting bosses like this to fighting a ship with guns and all kinds of other stuff. And I mean, we are going to just allow people to have as many credits as they want, right? Like,
yeah, I see no reason to expect a 1cc.
So this is not only do I feel like this is a great racing game because the skill ceiling is going to be pretty steep and variable, but also I feel like everyone who joins the race will be able to complete it because of that. As many tries as you want. You can just throw your dude at him until you win if you really have to. Obviously that's not going to be the fastest thing, but everyone's welcome to race, and we're going to be looking to host one next week, so by all means hop in. It should be fun. Looking forward to this one.
Yeah, there's definitely a time loss associated with dying, so the fastest strat's still going to be 1 credit clearing this if possible, so... Or I would assume so, unless there's something really cheap and risky you can do.
This is another genre that we haven't really done, as we somehow keep finding them. We haven't found a beat-em-up boss battler. Even Banana to Baba is actually the closest thing, and that's a platformer. This is a...
You know, for a man who's fully clothed, he has startlingly little clothing on.
It happens. Sometimes your clothes... Well, I don't know how to finish that sentence. Sometimes your clothes. Here's Serpent. It's not really a serpent, but here in the Flesh Zone. Love to be here.
Welcome to the Flesh Zone. So you get 2 lives per credit, and the nice thing about this game is that even if you're dying a lot, you don't ever restart a boss. Like, just putting another credit in picks up from where you are. So, you know, even if you're doing very badly, you never really lose progress or anything that would make this take forever, as long as you're getting a few hits in here and there where possible. I would like to suplex this eyeball. There we go.
I'm just adding information about this to So we are going to give you as many credits as you want. Was there any difficulty settings? I don't feel like there was.
I didn't set any dip switches. I don't know if that's something we should be mindful of, but the dip switches on the cabinet would be how you would set difficulty. Otherwise, there was no difficulty selection.
I think default settings, any character, as many credits as you need is the settings that we should use. Nice headbutts on that dragon. Oh, he headbutted you, which was weird for him to do, but he done it. I seen it. Yep, just default settings.
I think the most satisfying thing is suplexing the dragon head, because you just like pick it up and put it on the ground.
Did anyone have any questions? I'll talk about the format that we're changing to. I did make a post about it, but we have been, if you're new to the show, we have been giving world record prizes for taking the time, and you know that's still going to be. I bet the people who participate in this will have it at the end of this, but that's not the concern this time. The concern this time is going to be race focused. So in 4 weeks, let me go ahead and update that clock so it reflects the 4 weeks that are left. But in 4 weeks, we're going to have a race, and the winner of that race will take it. $4 weeks, 2 hours. There it is. So when that clock runs out, and you can find that clock on speedbump.run, we'll have a race that night, and we'll probably have some offline races too, because I imagine if we have a lot of participation, which I sure would like to see, we'll have many people who can't make it Sunday night, and I'll make sure they get their times in too. I'll just monitor a run from them live as well, and we'll see who wins, who's got the best time out of all the racing participants that I have. That's what we're going to be doing. So, and then on week 5, we'll have a new game for you for December, which is going to be like the 5th, I think. That's our format this month. Anyway, we are racing this game next week, and we'll get you set up if you need help, but it should be pretty easy to set this up, right? Did you have any trouble?
Once I figured out how to set up MAME, which I'm happy to write a small guide for, but once I figured out how to set up MAME UI, which is trivial, and figured out what to do, it was effortless.
Default settings across the board, you're just gonna need a button to pump in a quarter, and that's gonna be it. Everything else is gold. Pick your character and just go win. And so we'll have a race next week. I would love to see people jump in. You can jump in blind if you want. You cannot really lose here on this game. You're going to be able to clear it eventually, and we'll happily watch to the end, however long that takes you. It'll be fine. I'd love to see a lot of participants, and in week 2 we'll watch the world record, whatever that may be.
Just imagine if you like fighting games or are good at them, you could be doing way better than this.
On week 3, do you want to play against me in this? That's probably a good content filler.
Sure.
We can do that in week 3 here in a couple weeks, and then on week 4, we'll have the real race with everyone who wants to participate for a prize. Top 3 will get something. Yeah, you're fighting absolute Street Fighter character here. You're absolutely just fighting Blanka. Oh, he's got some other moves too. He's better than Blanka. Blanka's kind of, I don't know my Street Fighter meta, but I always felt like he was pretty lousy. I had a hard time winning with him. He requires the enemy to make mistakes more than he's not really an active fighter. I don't really like the way he fights. Man, that guy's all over the place. Wow.
Yeah.
He's always swinging. You jumping off the walls?
Yeah, I think that's something I'm able to do.
Oh man, nice counter. Yeah, so if you're good at fighting games, I think you'll have an edge here. I think you'll be in good shape. It's not just being.
And even if you're not, it's completable.
Yeah, it sure is. Like, you can't really lose because you have as many continues as you want. If you're a good like Street Fighter player, obviously this is the game for you. If you're not, you might just need some practice, but it is against the AI, and the AI is controllable. You just gotta learn what they do. You're never gonna be able to purely predict them, but once you practice a bit, you'll be able to beat the AI in most games like this.
Easy boss, probably.
Looking for as many participants as we can get. Would love to see a big pile of people for this, especially for the prize. Way to kill that thing. Way to kill Diablo with your fists.
By killing God, I have become God.
Fearsome god from a far off land, this plant. Spider wort? Spider wort?
Yeah, spider wort.
It's just a plant. What do you think?
Well, this is before I fall underground to finally fight the Moai statues.
Oh,
This is like a little mini boss fight before that. I guess they thought that fighting a giant stone statue wasn't hard enough.
this game whips
So
ass.
this fight actually isn't that bad. Oh, never mind. This guy's making a fool of me.
Alien Soldier, I guess if you took the guns away, I could see that comparison. I would say it's a mix of Street Fighter with Double Dragons, that kind of game. That's what it is to me. I mean, there's a lot of arcade beat 'em ups. That's a whole genre of game that hardly anyone really got into because they're just an arcade cabinet thing. You know, if you didn't go to the arcades, you weren't playing them. That's where you got them. So this is one of many, but it's one of the better ones, I think, and I enjoy watching it. Anyway, here's what a Moai statue actually is all about. Looking like a Contra boss.
Oh, is this one a Contra too?
It just looks like I don't remember its name, but there's a statue boss at the end of Super C, and it shows up in every Contra game ever since, and it looks similar to this in movement.
If you're wondering, yeah, I definitely suplexed a giant stone statue. That's kind of what I'm about.
No problem for Katetsu. I don't know if you'll win a headbutting contest with the Moai statue. You can try. So, I'm sure that the Discord, like usual, is going to be ablaze with information on what's the best DPS here, if headbutt is any better or worse than jump kicks in terms of... And character selection too, like there's gonna be a lot of information on. If you're not in the Discord for Speed Bump, you're missing out on a resource that will help you win this thing for sure. I'd be surprised if the person who won the race was not in the Speed Bump room, at least reading, if not participating in the information that gets shared there. Because it's just too much. They just such a good job investigating these. Slowly losing this damage rate.
Yeah, I know.
Your Mohawk isn't strong enough to slice through stone. Oh no, his nose!
It's okay, he wasn't using it.
He's been sphinxed. That was a really good punch. So when you block, I saw you block that, does it chip damage or is it just block it all?
Some things do chip damage, but some things don't. Like it's specific to the attack type. If it's just like a punch or a kick, I think it does chip damage. But for some of these like big attacks, like fireballs and lasers, I haven't noticed it doing any damage.
That was really close on the damage ratio. Almost had that one.
It's time for the Wily stages.
Is this guy not a good guy?
I have no idea. I don't speak Japanese.
He looks like a friendly doctor, but maybe he is Dr. Wily. Anyway, here's this skull. I mean, that is absolutely a Mega Man looking aircraft back there. Suplex a missile. What a jam.
I'm living for this music.
This is part of the game I had seen, and I knew this was the game for me when I saw this stage. This is the one that sold me on the way this game operates. It's not just boss fights. You got beat 'em up elements here now. You're fighting turrets and mechs at the same time.
Honestly, these segments have been the ones that take most of my credits.
Yeah, they're rough. They're absolutely designed to eat you. Nice. That being said, you tear these things apart with your damage. They are just made out of paper. Very lightweight mechs. They must be pure aluminum foil, just painted. That suplex seems to one-shot him. That seems like the move. If you can get him down on the ground.
You can suplex out of mid-air. I don't know how I do it, but sometimes I pull it off.
Nice. 3 headbutts will do it.
I'm gonna be singing this song all day.
We could do this co-op in 3 weeks instead of racing it. That would be fun.
Yeah, either way.
This thing looks much worse of a robot than the ones you've been beating up. I'm not sure what this guy's deal is with this thing. This reverse joints leg. This is the kind of thing I'd build an Armored Core as a joke. Just to punish my pilot. The Duker? Ducker? Kung Fu Robot has beaten Tetsu. Tetsu, stand up. So this is a Konami game, so I think it's pretty easy to see when it is, but I'm just very familiar with their works, I guess. But I definitely can tell you that's what it was. Without, you know, having their logo up in my face like I do on screen right now. So if you see any Moai heads, you know, that helps make it obvious. Radius stuff.
Do I lose health when I headbutt this idiot? It makes sense. Headbutting a giant metal mech should hurt me a little bit.
I haven't noticed that. How far did you get in this earlier?
To the, like, 2 bosses after this one. This is definitely like some dumbass Wily stage where they, great, you fought all of the robot masters, now you gotta go up against these dumb stages.
The only arcade game I can think of that really what was like in America everywhere was like the Simpsons one. And same kind of game as that. That one was really designed to eat your money though. Not like this one's not anywhere near as egregious, but there are a lot of these. Oh, the X-Men one, yeah, I've seen that one. I've also seen Sunset Riders and stuff, but that's a different genre at that point. Superman had one too. Those ones would be in like the roller rinks and regular arcades, and that's about all you'd see. There really weren't very many for the hundreds of these that exist. There really weren't very many in America. But there are so many of these. You wouldn't believe how many of these there are, and they're so good. There's so many good titles on this genre.
There we go.
Well, you've mauled that monster.
Yeah, I don't know how close to the end I was when I played earlier, but I had made it through a number of bosses in this segment. So now we go down an elevator. We do some more fighting small enemies, then next boss is a Robo-Ape. I like that they went full on with the Wily aesthetic too. It's you know, skulls everywhere for no reason.
Yeah, skulls beaming steam out of their noses on the doors. They're like a doorbell. Let's jump kick. Now you're just fighting like the leftover robots. They're running out of resources. Nice
The
splits.
small ones suck. Hitting them is rough.
Those splits are really good. I haven't noticed you doing those as much as I should have. I'm also really enjoying the bike animation where you grab the wheel and fight the motorcycle.
If you're lucky enough to jump on the back of it, it looks like he's about to ride it away, but then doesn't. He just breaks it. But that's one of my favorite animations.
You're allowed to switch characters whenever you want to, it looks like.
You get 2 lives per character. When you lose both of those, you can switch to a different character if you want. And I don't know exactly how this works, but I'm able to select the first monster that I fight, but after that, it seems like it gives it to me in a random order. So
this one
I don't
was
know if
actually...
there's...
Go ahead.
Well, I don't know if it's set or something, but you know, I fought a different robot order this time than I did when I was testing it earlier.
This one was one of the ones that was sent into us, and I think I have notes on that. This is one that it was a submission. Let me see what we got. This robot looks even worse. They just keep getting worse. I'm looking for those notes. Six initial bosses, the first of which can be chosen, and the rest are randomized. And an endgame sequence consisting of beat-em-up stages and fixed boss fights. It looks like the world record is 1452. Did I have that right? Let's see. Yeah, I did. That's
Something
right.
like that.
I had that one, yeah. You're currently at 25 minutes. So you pick your first stage. I don't know if it's going to make a big difference, but you pick your first stage, and after that, it just shuffles the ones that are in between you and the final stage, which I presume you're on now.
Yeah, this is the final stage. There were no more monsters on the map. There's 6 monsters on the map, and then you get the Wily stage.
You're real close to the end, as far as I can tell. Whoa.
Isn't that so disrespectful?
He punches harder than the mech, and he's gonna show you. He's just fragile. He's just a fragile man with a strong arm. It's one of those dirty tricks you don't expect. You don't expect the hatch to open up and just get belted. You have to fight 4 arms. I believe the lady was used in the world record. I don't know if there's a reason though. Maybe the moves are just
She probably
easier.
I mean, yeah, her moves are probably either stronger or better to use for some reason.
I'm never gonna not laugh at that sprite punch from the face. That's really good.
In practice, I tried all 3 of them. I didn't notice, so I didn't have the move list in front of me, but I didn't notice any of them seeming strictly better than the other. What's gonna probably differ is their specific special moves, whether or not you like theirs more than the other.
Yeah, that's one thing. They do have special moves, but it will not be hard for you to find that list. That list is already available. We've already got that information for you. So if you're looking for the to play character and you want to know if you can do their moves easily, it's up there. It didn't take long for me to find that. One more headbutt for the road. Robo-Ape is dead.
Yeah, this guy's the rocket move that he has is pretty straightforward. It's just a way forward attack.
You're getting yelled at real quick. Hold on. Can you beat this? Probably.
So this was the boss fight that I was on when the show started. So I didn't finish this, and I had guessed that maybe this was the final boss. I don't know what made me think this might be the final boss. Probably her sitting in a navigation chair at the beginning of the fight.
I mean, she's still sitting in it. It's just a really fancy chair. I like that screwdriver move you're doing sideways. It's a good move. It is an elliptical. It's good exercise and a villain's chair. You're doing really well at this one. I like the mid-battle animations on the enemy. Oh, she's changed. That's much worse.
This is so bad for my team.
Here comes the bombs.
Oh, I'm like sending the bombs back to her. This ends. Get murdered. Get murdered.
She's really excited she got you with one. And
Is that time?
it would be 30:03 if you got it. Nice symmetrical time. I didn't actually watch the very end of this, but I think you might be done.
This looks like an ending sequence. Oh my god.
30:03 is your time.
Oh my lord, I'm on a diet. I can't have that much cake.
Nice. Nice work. Clearing the game. You did it.
This game owns, honestly.
Alright, well, I hope we've drummed up some interest. I am looking to have a race here in 1 week, 1 week's time, and if you're looking for tips, check the Discord out, especially if you're looking to get it up and running, we can help you with that. I noticed your res is a little weird. Maybe we can get that set to something. I'm not sure. It's just
My resolution?
Yeah, it's not widescreen. It's not even SNES res. It's very tall, which is standard arcade stuff, I know, but we might be able to stretch that a different way. It's not that bad. I'll work with it, whatever it ends up being.
Yeah, I think you have mine scrunched a little bit. It's fairly square, at least on my display. Mine is fine. Okay, I'll send y'all a screenshot.
Okay,
I know what I'm about.
I'll mess with it. Yeah, this is my
Anyway.
fault, but it does have a huge black mark on the right because that's how arcades operate. So that messes with it a little bit. Anyway, that's the game. That's Monster Maulers, and we are looking to race that for the record. For the payout. We're not going to have a record contest this time, though. You're free to go for it. I mean, I'm not going to say you can't go get the record. Be my guest. That would be awesome. I fully expect that to happen, right? Like it seems unlikely that it won't as people practice for this. You might as well if you feel like you can take the record, which currently Ivy has, and that's going to be a pretty good contest to beat, I bet. But Avi has a really
The
good
name of
run
the game
there.
is Monster Maulers. Maulers.
Yep. You can go to speedbump.run. I'll drop that link in here. If you want information like that, the game title and all that is up there, as well as the game clock, which you can see on screen there. Well, that's all we got for you. Thanks for joining me, Alpha Blues. Thanks for running through the whole thing.
Yeah, no problem. Pretty good at it, so it was no big deal.
I mean, you had some moves.
I had one move.
I'll see you later, Alpha Blues.
Later.
Stick around, folks. I've got a bounty to do for you. It should be fun. Looking forward to trying it.